On a February 4th, back in the 90s, that guy named Hugo Chavez got away again. 4F. On January 3rd, 2026, Nicolas Maduro was arrested a month later, a month after everything that happened this month with the opening of the United States Embassy. Marco Rubio. Oil workers, assaults, boat destruction, Caracas operation, secret weapons. No one could have thought or imagined or told us that Chavismo was going to sink so quickly. It's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous. It's something unheard of, unbelievable. It's something that surpasses the best projection we could have imagined. I'm going to be honest about this because it's important to me and also for all the people of Venezuela. You already know that we've been providing information since day one, when the military action began. I want to say that I'm very proud of everyone who has come through this channel, of all our friends, of the whole community, for the great effort we've all made to communicate. But this is unbeatable. It's something that completely surpasses what we could ever imagine. Chavismo doesn't just create habits. I've said that it's sinking because it's destroyed. It's a total defeat of Chavismo as an ideology. Thank you. It took too long. I thought that with Chavez's death, this would be over. They left us with the puppet Maduro. They've stretched things out for a few more years. Unfortunately, a lot of people have died. That's really hard to say. In fact, today, another one of those kidnapped by the regime died. But today has been quite a special day. There have been movements within the regime. There have been a lot of things. A lot of people have been released. Quite a few people have been freed, but there are still many left. We will always celebrate the release of everyone, of each one of them, but a lot of things have happened. Chavismo is currently in a situation like a critical patient where they don't know what's going to happen, what will occur, or if this is going to move forward. Just days ago, I thought the elections would take longer to happen. Seeing what I'm seeing, looking at the state the patient is in, which is Chavismo, in this case, after a full examination, it's critical, it's terminal. They've lost the ability to convince their own people, their own Chavistas. They're disappointed, they feel deceived, they feel betrayed. Nothing is known about Nicolas Maduro. No one has gone to offer him consular help. They've left him to his fate. They keep bringing up his name to try to justify themselves and keep claiming that they didn't betray him or sell him out to the United States. But what's truly unheard of is that people from the regime like Diosdado Cabello, who is the most revolutionary among those remaining, is where he is. You're going to be amazed today by Diosdado. Diosdado, I think he'll end up like that guy who wound up on a ship. In the 1940s and 46, around that time, something incredible happened. In 45 on April 30th, 45, a guy in Germany in a bunker ended his life. Looking at his face, and what you're going to see tonight is simply the reflection of the total destruction of Chavismo. Even Diosdado hasn't been able to keep convincing people on the streets. People don't know what to do anymore. Are they going to sell the weapons they've been given, supposedly to confront the United States? Are they going to start selling them on the black market? Thank you. Conversations that I'm hearing on the ground, phone conversations that I can't share here. They all feel betrayed. They feel this has been the biggest deception in history. Everyone is opening their eyes. People are already taking to the streets. There are roadblocks happening. This is a matter of weeks. I'll say it like that. It's a matter of weeks. Let's watch a clip, although later we'll see the whole thing. Well, we won't see everything from today because today was 4Effie. Yesterday, Delcy Rodriguez was organizing a sort of mega demonstration in support of the revolution, in support of Maduro. They've been left more alone than ever. I mean it. They've been left with no one. Diosdado had to come out dressed as a soldier to try to calm the fire from the 34th anniversary march, which wasn't really a march. There was no march at all. What they did was fill Miraflores Avenue with people they brought from all over Venezuela. Not even the people who were there were from Caracas. They were people from all over Venezuela, from the whole country, who they gathered on buses, as they usually do, to bring them there. I want you to see this because we are the reflection of what is already happening. And we're going to analyze Diosdado's words. A Diosdado who is scared, who is saying either we all unite or they're going to finish us off. But before that, before Diosdado.
How are you?
Thank you. Releases. But notice one thing. Well, congratulations to that family. Notice one thing. A van stops and they practically throw him out of the van and leave. They take off. How is it already? The total decline of these people?
It's something incredible.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Today we were reporting or commenting on the news that Alex Saab and the head of a Chavista television station have been arrested. It's been reported they were arrested, which is why I believe there's internal conflict in the regime. No one knows where they are. Nothing is known. Their whereabouts are unknown. Journalists have been released from prison. Important figures have been released, and workers who were in jail have also been released. But it seems, and this is really the last straw, that an operation by the FBI or the CIA or whoever, together with Sabin, seems to be what they're saying led to the arrest of Lisap. Have they asked Betty's sister's brother about this?
Information has been spread saying that former Minister Alex Saab and also the Global Vision executive Raul Gurin were arrested. I wanted to know if
Raul Gurin arrested.
You could give us this information.
And Delcy's brother? Beyond just stopping the rumors?
Omar, I'm a congressman. About the last question, I'll answer you quickly. It's not part of my area of attention, and I don't have any information.
He's dodging the question.
About what you're bringing up.
As for whether it has been spread?
So you don't deny it. Therefore, it's very likely to be true. It's more than likely to be true. They're all very nervous. Not only are they nervous in Venezuela, they're also nervous in Spain. A guy named Zapatero and another one named Pablo Iglesias. This happened today with Vito Quiles in Spain.
Iglesias, how do you feel about your wife saying she'll replace right-wingers with illegal immigrants? What are you doing? This time you won't throw it at me, right? Pablo, are you a fascist? What are you doing, Mr. Iglesias? Are you a thug? If you get 0 seats, will you open another bar? Why act like a thug? Why do you act like a thug, Mr. Iglesias, huh? What do you think about your wife wanting to replace the people who want to replace people? Fascist, you say, because of immigrants. Do you think that's democratic? Does that seem like a democratic scenario to you? Mr. Iglesias, well, have a good trip to Galapagos. Thank you.
Come on, gentlemen, that's enough of the trouble, okay?
Pablo Iglesias once again tried to attack us and throw the microphone at me. We asked him what all Spaniards think about Irene Montero's outrageous comments. Replace all right-leaning Spaniards with 500,000 illegal immigrants? We came to Zaragoza for...
It's unbelievable. It's not just what he said about the right. Vito, this guy has been getting paid. His party from Venezuela, they traveled to Venezuela to work as advisors. We don't know if it was in the helicoid or where they've been advisors, since no details were given. I also don't know if they've advised anything. There are some prisoners who have said that Zapatero would walk around the cells with Delcy and tell them that everyone had to be quiet. Like in Checot, everyone quiet. I don't know. But I think they're very afraid. Let's talk about Diosdado. Diosdado is the key figure in this story about Diosdado Cabello. They're saying he might be the coup plotter, the one giving orders and the one who breaks. The structure established with the United States involving Delcy, the people, and the regime. Let's hear what Diosdado says.
What would come out of this?
To Francis.
American by neighbor, this is the...
Let's see when he starts talking here. Mr. Estado Cabello. We'll take the full clip so there's no doubt.
Long live the homeland, long live Bolivar, long live Chavez, long live Maduro, long live February 4th. Oh. How are you all doing?
But no, long live Delcy. And Delcy, long live Delcy. No, Uncle State, well...
Look, let's send it from here. At some point he will see it. At some point she will see it. Let's all send greetings to Nicholas and Celia, and we'll save it. Because when they return to Venezuela, they will see the expression of the people of Aragua and the people of Venezuela saying it and greeting them. Come on then, let's send our solidarity greetings. Up with the mothers, up. Solidarity and revolutionary greetings. Greetings.
Solidarity.
It's him. Now, if you notice, and you really have to analyze this, okay? I'm analyzing it myself. Diosdado wants to take over the public role that Maduro had in the streets, speaking in public, not the noise, the shouting, the microphone. Delcy, however, is a person who now tries to present herself as a stateswoman, a serious person with a well-groomed posture, well-dressed. Have they stopped wearing tracksuits? She used to wear tracksuits too. At one point, she dressed like a carnival monkey, but not anymore. Now she wears designer suits. Have we seen the dollar? $800, $1,000, or $2,000 yet? Let's say, or we can understand, or we can suspect that, right? It's obvious. It's obvious that there's something wrong there. There's something wrong between them.
And revolutionary, a love of hope, of free and sovereign decision. Above all, a march full of dignity of a people. Today we go out to walk here in this Maracay, which brings us so many memories, not of life, in this Maracay where our commander Hugo Chavez was.
Note they had to go all the way to Maracay. They haven't done it in Caracas. They know the situation in Caracas isn't good, and people there are unhappy with the regime.
In this state of Aragua, where the oath of the Bolivarian Revolutionary Movement 200 was taken. In this state of Aragua, where the units that left were military units that went to Caracas, and look.
Another one who doesn't appear in this story, which is also something to highlight and analyze. I'm going to do all this very slowly so people can understand it. greetings to our friends in Venezuela. The one who doesn't appear is Vladimir Padrino. Vladimir Padrino has stepped aside, but completely. The one who should be there is Vladimir Padrino.
But especially in this state of Aragua, which has remained undefeated in all circumstances and at all times. For us to be here 34 years after February 4th by this time, our people already knew what had happened by this time. The for now was going around the world, the for now. From a young man who was given 49 seconds churio to speak and sent a message of hope to his people. A man who took responsibility in a country where no one took responsibility.
Observe, for example, Diosdado's security. They're not Cubans. This is another topic. We're going to have breaking news soon, don't worry. This is another topic to analyze, the security that Diosdado has. They're not Cubans, but Delcy still has Cubans.
He said, I take responsibility for this revolutionary movement to take responsibility. In Venezuela, that had never been seen before. The politicians of Venezuela were all characterized, if I may use the term, by that as a defining trait.
Irresponsibility is criticizing all the politicians and is comparing the situation from before with the current one. How much is Diosdado doing it like a record?
They also had corruption, of course, but they never took on irresponsibility. That was inherited by the sons and daughters of the oligarchy here in our country.
That's why we, today,
34 years later, these people take to the streets to remember the greatest, Commander Hugo Chavez, to remember the feat of that February 4th, 1992.
But notice another detail and listen to this audio clip. Listen to this. Okay, let's stop there. Listen to this.
Will seeing us united make them think about it? If they see us, one here, another there, they're going to take us out one by one, and no one will be left. No one will be left, none of us.
If we are united, it means that right now, Chavismo is not united.
Nuclear power. Why does a town appear a month later? How is this town coming out?
That is to say, Chavismo is not united. Chavismo is currently destroyed. There is no strong leader. The only one they're afraid of is Delcy, because Delcy knows a lot of things and has a certain amount of power, because she does. And she can send a group to your house, but not much else. Padrino is missing. Vladimir Padrino hasn't shown up for many days. He hasn't shown up. The only one who shows up from time to time is Diosdado, with a lost look and feeling left out by the Rodriguez siblings. Doubting is betrayal. It's written right on the emblem. Doubting is betrayal. Are they doubting? Or is what Diosdado is doing there calling them traitors? Thank you. A full-blown betrayal. He went to Aragua to set this up. Why didn't he do it in Caracas, the capital? Why didn't he do it? Where Hugo Chavez used to fill up entire avenues, where Maduro used to give out coffee to people. Why did Diosdado have to go to Aragua? Why? I'm not sure about you, but for me, if what's said about Alex Saab is true, if the other one's arrest is true, things were going to happen here. Padrino Lopez trending in Twitter, No one knows where he is. He also appeared today, but there are practically no videos from today. Officially, he said February 4th was an act of love and urged keeping Chavez's legacy alive. Good evening, I'm leaving. That's it.
Of course.
What does Padrino say?
With air supremacy, since there were more than 150 aircraft in our airspace, of course it was unfeasible. Sending out a plane is sending pilots to their death and suicide.
And the 30 Cubans who died. Defending Maduro and Padrino, he said he didn't send planes because it would have been suicide. Well, so let's see. Let's go step by step. If this was suicide to defend Nicolas Maduro, so why did it get to the point where the United States launched a military operation? Why did they stay until January, since September, August? Independence Plan. 200 operation, I don't know what, 5,000 missiles, acronyms, radars, armored vehicles handing out weapons to people. If they knew, if they were aware of the military superiority of the United States of America, what was the point or what for? What? These guys now tell us they didn't do anything because it would have been suicide. We didn't defend Nicolas Maduro because it would have been suicide. Man, it would have been suicide, but they already knew that. I've had the chance to talk to military commanders in the region, and they said what Venezuela has done is crazy. They've been provoking Donald Trump to launch operations against Venezuela. And now, when the operation against Venezuela is launched, they come and tell us they couldn't do anything because there were 150 aircraft in the sky. Well, but if you were seeing them night after night on military strategies, we were telling you, look, there are 50 here, 60 there, 15 in this place. I no longer understand what Chavismo is, but to me, it's the biggest embarrassment in world history. That the head of the army, well, but look, listen again.
I saw firsthand the pilots ready, suited up to go into combat. What about it?
But you, what would you see if you were holed up in a bunker? Whining in a corner?
Of course, with air supremacy, there were more than 150 aircraft in our airspace.
Did you see that on Fly Radar? Is it about Vladimir Padrino staying in power or just staying there? It's history's greatest military disgrace.
I hate
And there are people who say that
people who don't believe in peace, who have conflict in their genes. There are people who don't respect laws.
But well, that's exactly what you were doing. Not respecting peace, attacking your own people, chaining them up, kidnapping relatives. It's just pure madness. Official statement from Vladimir Padrino, because he hasn't even dared to go on television or anywhere to appear. Who knows who wrote it? Could this have been written by Vladimir Padrino? Or could it have been written by one of the supposed pilots who were dressed up that night to defend Nicolas Maduro? Now we get it. He said nobody should leave the bunker. Thanks for watching the video. And meanwhile, Maduro was watching as they took him away in a helicopter, and Maduro was shouting out loud the acronyms, the anti-aircraft cannons, the missiles, and there was no one. There were Cubans who had been disintegrated, vaporized. No one. There was no one. And National Dignity Day? No, National Shame Day. That's how it was engraved in the collective memory that early morning of February 4, 1992, just like January 3, 2026, the day of national shame. Because the Army chief said so. The head of the Army said, I'm freaking out. They just sent me something. Well, we'll talk about that later. That they couldn't defend him, he says, when a brave soldier broke the course of history to catapult himself with a sharp and measured phrase. Unfortunately for now, our objectives have not been achieved. Here he gives us an ideology of Bolívar de Zamora, of Simón Bolívar, at 34 years old, of the heroic one. Long live the 4F. Long live the 3E. Of January. Always loyal, never traitors. Chavez lives.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God.
It's tremendous. What we're seeing here is the complete destruction of a regime, and now they're hunting each other. They're hunting each other. Please, I don't know where they've commented about an incident that happened to me, whether I've been detained or not. As long as I haven't talked about it, I'd appreciate it if people didn't go around telling it, because that's not how it is. I haven't been arrested. No one has arrested me, and they can't arrest me. Please stop saying nonsense, because that's not how it is. Something has happened. It's true that something has happened, and I'll talk about it in a few days in full detail if necessary. But I'm fine. Thank you for worrying about me. Thank you. I appreciate it. But that's it. I'm not important here. The important thing here is that there are people who are being held in prisons, being tortured, and who are not being released. I'm not in any prison. Military strategies aren't important here, so please, I appreciate it. The concerns, but let's focus on the topic that is serious. That is quite serious. The man with the money? The man with the money. What could have happened here for Al-Azhar to have been arrested? But something must have happened. It's not normal for Al-Azhar and Raul Gorin, no. The director of television to be detained. 57 Gorin, lawyer, businessman, Globo Vision president, no. All the media are saying that the Maduro supporters are being purged. And it seems that it's true. It seems that it's true. It seems that the members of the Maduro clan are being deprived of their freedom. So Biden releases him, he returns to Venezuela, and now they're going to take him to the United States. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. It's incredible. So, who will be the next Diosdado? Local media report the arrests follow a request from Washington to the acting president, with the aim that both of them are extradited to the United States, where they could become key witnesses. In the ongoing case against Maduro, this is the second time the FBI has captured someone it considers a presidential frontman, an international financial operator for the regime to evade United States sanctions. He was arrested in Cape Verde in 2020, I remember this. Biden set him free. And Gorin, who was a poor lawyer, Tom, is now a billionaire. There must be something here. Something has to happen here. Certainly, however, some figures remain at large. Gran Quartiaga, Diosdado, Lares. Not these, not yet. But what's happening right now in the skies? What's happening in Venezuela? Have they already drawn their swords here? And pay attention to this. Pay close attention to what's next. The story isn't over. Breaking news from Venezuela. And can someone explain it to me? It looks like we're entering the dry season. Pay attention to this. The black cat. Again. By the way, I'm going to tell you some things. I'm going to tell you things that I've been told. There are things I can tell, things I can't tell. Taref. Pay attention there. Pay attention out there. Music off, off, off. Okay, pay attention here. Jacksonville. Has anyone told me? I can't tell it. I can't tell it. I'm sorry. I can't tell it. But Jacksonville, well, this place you see, the Mayport Naval Base in Jacksonville, this right here, this area you see is vital. I'm sorry, I can't say. I can't tell it. I don't betray the trust that's placed in me, but I've been told some very, very interesting things. I can't tell it. I'm sorry, I can't. It would be betraying people I've grown very fond of. No, I don't want to. The red cat is nearby. What is an oil tanker looking for now? They're searching for boats that are what? What is that red cat, the black cat, doing there? I think a drone is going to visit Diosdado, I feel like a drone might visit Diosdado or Gran Quartiaga. I think the United States is trying to avoid the issue of launching drone attacks because right now things are calm. The embassy is opened. Everything is fine. But I think the time will come when some predator will go in there. A predator or an attack drone, A single-use drone will go wherever it is, says Larga. The information. I just can't say it. I can't. I would like to, but no. I've already had too much this week. I've had enough this week. Well, we were actually about to make a show with 2 million views, which wouldn't have been bad either, huh? But what a story. What happened this week? With military strategies, but no, look, what's up with Diosdado is clear. It's clear. God has to come out. With him, Ranco and several others have to leave. They can't stay there. Let's see, because Rodriguez, the older brother or the younger brother, I don't even know if he's older or younger, the Rodriguez brothers are all equally ugly. They've been talking, and there was a press conference. Questions were asked, and they've been there answering. Let's listen for a bit. Let's see what the Venezuelan press has to say. A month after what happened with Maduro, a month after the catastrophe, after Vladimir Padrino said it was better not to go out because it was suicide, well, then he should leave the army. On top of that, he's a coward. On top of that, a coward.
From one of the laws. That's exactly what I'm saying. The work agenda is fair.
Let's look at the questions.
Is that a serious problem? Person in charge, right? And in that sense, it has already been established that in the event of the President of the Republic being forced out, the Vice President assumes the responsibilities. That's why she was sworn in as acting President.
By the way, if my memory serves me right, is there a time limit or a number of days for being acting president? All right, let's see. Some of you here are from Venezuela. I think there's a time limit.
Regarding the amnesty law, it's an initiative from the national executive, and what it seeks is a new moment in the country's political life. Is there a serious problem with the manipulation of lists or not? Whether this non-governmental organization prefers these or another organization prefers those. We've received reports that there are supposed government organizations charging the families of people. So, just to be on the safe side, the acting president proposes a clear law.
Because since the NGOs are charging money to the families, they say everyone should be released, but who actually believes that? Thanks for the 50 memberships. I see the sinister Teletubbies there in the profile picture. Well, look, Dursey, the brother, is right there in that one. 6 months plus 1 is 7 months maximum for complete absence. Someone is telling us here. Libertad Media, someone is telling us here. Eduardo says 7 months. It could be... January is over. We're in the 2nd month. Thank you.
Amnesty, which establishes the mechanisms through which people can regain their freedom as long as they are among the individuals specified in that law. Commander Hugo Chavez established 2 amnesty laws and 2 pardons. It wasn't 2 laws and 1 pardon. And President Nicolas Maduro, in the year 2020, I believe, issued a presidential pardon, mainly for the deputies of the 2015 National Assembly, and I think they fall between the 4th and 5th republics.
How many enabling laws? 2 pardons?
How many enabling laws?
Oh my, 2 pardons. They pardoned Aragua train members in Secot, whom Maduro rescued. Those are the pardons. It's good because what happened at Secot has been tremendous.
In this case, what we would like is for this law to send a powerful, strong message about the intention of a new political moment. Also.
But when they ask him if they've arrested LEFSAP, he says he doesn't know anything. Mazinger, thank you so much for that. Look, the important thing is the message. Another messenger will come along.
Speed up dialogue among the country's political, social, economic, and cultural factors. About the question regarding some of the laws, well, that's exactly it. Let me explain it to you like this. I mean, this work agenda that we are carrying out with the opposition sectors, tomorrow we have another meeting with other opposition parties.
But which parties are you going to meet with? From the opposition, if you have them all in jail? If in Venezuela the opposition doesn't exist? These things.
This work agenda will have expressions in the way things operate.
Expressions, not torture. I think you're starting to get it now.
In the state, its operations and submitted proposals. A.
Look, the one to his left who's also a minister of something. I really can't stand this guy. I really can't stand him at all. Because he's the one who's the closest friend of Iran. That one over there. Later, tell me his name in the chat.
Interim president, but there will also be some corresponding laws in the National Assembly. Some laws, for example, the Democratic Coexistence and Peace Program presented us with the needs that some organizations have pointed out.
50 more memberships for the Tinky Winky group.
Incidents related to human rights. A new coexistence law, that new coexistence law, if we approve moving forward with that initiative, would replace the previous coexistence law that exists. We have proposed, after 2 meetings we have held with the Democratic Coexistence and Peace Program, that probably the whole issue of human rights should be organized in a great code of human rights for Venezuelan men and women, and not scattered across different laws, especially in punitive laws. The issue of human rights should not be included.
Capriles leads the opposition. I can't believe this.
In punitive laws.
But they're meeting with Capriles, huh? Watch out, huh? Who is Capriles, huh?
Exceptionally well organized and coded. I'm not sure if I answered the...
You haven't answered anything.
Points you made? For Extra News, Manuel Palma.
Extra News? Let's watch Extra News.
Good evening, Congressman.
How are you?
Which sectors do you plan to meet with besides political sectors, university sectors, and the economy? Is it planned to meet with the drug traffickers?
Are you meeting the drug traffickers to discuss business now?
Another thing, what specific mechanisms are being considered or discussed in all this political dialogue so that the political violence that has been experienced in the country never happens again?
Political violence?
Correct.
He says, greetings to Gaston, who's here. A hug, Gaston. From Guarimba. Political violence? No, there hasn't been political violence in Venezuela. No, there hasn't been violence against the people.
Yes, we need several vaccines.
Yes, you need several vaccines. One for Chavismo and another for communism. Then you need the vaccine against violence, the vaccine against rage, and against all kinds of madness that you have instilled in a great people like those of Venezuela? Yes, many vaccines, that's true.
And those vaccines in political terms are the guarantees.
They have been vaccinating the prisoners at Helicoide, I wonder, against dysentery. Skin diseases, scabies. Have they been vaccinating them at Helicoide? They have been vaccinating prisoners in Rodeo, Yair 1, Yair 2, and Tocaron. I don't understand. What is it that needs to be vaccinated?
Guarantees that anyone can have free will for their functioning in politics. That is, to think, associate, and participate as they wish. But also political actors
have just discovered the moon.
They should commit themselves, give guarantees that there will be no more calls for acts of violence that have caused so much harm to the country.
Yes, going out into the street and protesting, the right to demonstrate something that is common in civilized countries. In Venezuela, it's considered a crime, not a right. Can protesting in the street get you taken to the helicoid? Not now. They've closed it and will turn it into an amusement park. There in Spain, in Toledo, there's a place. People from Spain will know it. And those of you who will visit Spain someday will get to know it. In Toledo. Don't miss the Museum of Terror, once home to a notorious dungeon. This is the helicoid now. I love seeing how the Chavistas now act like they're the good guys. Nothing happened here. No one died. We did nothing wrong. We're peaceful. And we discovered democracy ourselves.
Basically, that's the approach we're looking for. Also regarding the type of meetings, this commission, appointed by President Rodriguez,
We'll meet with Capriles.
will it only work or just on the political issue? Of course, the economic is part of the political, the labor issue is part of the political, the social is part of the political, culture is in every area. But discussed in political sectors, the program for peace and coexistence is indeed meeting directly.
What you need to do is call for elections. Call for elections now.
With the different ways of organizing?
In Dr. Jorge Rodriguez's assessment of this,
He will also go out to the street. How do you all see the issue? This is the sinking of the Bismarck, the Titanic, the sinking of the Concordia. Great historical sinkings. Yes, those do come to mind. Great sinkings in history. Spain also lost a ship once. The Britannic? The Lusitania, see, this one was Spanish. I remember this. I wasn't alive in 1912. No, but I know a bit of history. Are you nervous? Godfather is scared. Diosdado is trying to make a move. But yes, no, that he was said to make the move, that he doesn't, that he does, that he doesn't dare, that he knows he has a daughter, that he has grandchildren, that he has family, that he's thinking about his retirement. That's it.
Yeah, well, this doesn't look good.
This doesn't look good. By the way, the other day they went out on the streets to threaten the United States ambassador. 4 idiots with 3 machine guns. The 4th didn't know how to use it, so they said, "We shouldn't give it to you. You might shoot us by accident." Today they also detained journalist Alvaro Algara, correspondent for the German network Deutsche Welle. I believe another journalist was also released. The standard interview, the second interview, I love that word, second interview. Next week is going to be fun with the second interview.
And until next time.
They released soccer fans who could have been national threats. We should also mention that not everything has been released. We have to echo this and give a voice to the families of this. Next video we're going to watch. Report of forced disappearance in Venezuela, where families don't know what has happened to their loved one. And it's of the utmost importance to know where they are. Let's take a look, family. Just a second while we get the video ready. Here we are.
Minister of Defense Vladimir Padrino Lopez. I speak from the perspective of someone who was born, raised, and educated in the heart of a military family. I am the daughter of an officer whose career was impeccable. My identity is tied to the military institution by blood and by upbringing. My home has always been a temple of obedience, respect, honor, and institutional values. The same values as my brother, Lieutenant Colonel Itbermarin Chaparro, who has been honored with excellence throughout his entire career. I speak for the officer who, to this day, holds the highest academic record in the history of the Venezuelan Military Academy. An officer respected by his superiors and admired by his subordinates, whose only crime is being a strictly institutional officer. He is innocent, Minister, and you know it. As a superior authority, the essence of your role is to look after the integrity of your men and to guarantee their human rights. Despite this, my brother has suffered enforced disappearance, torture, and inhumane isolation without medical attention. That responsibility is now an unavoidable mandate. And he is under 2 precautionary measures from the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights and a ruling from the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, which demands his immediate and unconditional release. Ignoring these international provisions is a stain on my honor. The human damage over these almost 8 years is deep and real. My parents, who are here today, have gone nearly 2 years without being able to hug their son.
This is tremendous. Please look at the fathers and mothers' faces. Godfather, if you have any dignity left, your point about not sending the planes because it was suicide is true. If the F-16s and U-35s were sent, would they be scrapped now? Thank you, if you still have any dignity left. If you ever had it or knew it, the favor of releasing. To men who have given their lives and time and would do so for the country. Have a little dignity. Be the leader you've never been, because you've never been one. Thanks for watching. Stop being the puppet and let them go. Stop being afraid of Arteaga and Diosdado. Set them free.
My nephews are growing up without them, marked by an absence that has no legal or moral justification. Minister, the mandate is temporary, but honor is eternal. Wow.
What a phrase. Wow.
Minister, mandates are temporary, but honor lasts forever. In the code of honor that governs a soldier's life, loyalty to the truth is not a mistake. It's the greatest virtue of an officer. My father and my brother have lived under that code. A leader with honor never allows the righteousness of their subordinates to become their own sentence. Today, together with my parents and before the eyes of the world, I am not here to ask for a favor. I am here to demand what is just. I demand the full freedom of my brother. I demand justice for the officers who are behind bars. For upholding their principles and being honest and loyal to their oath, I demand the freedom that all prisoners deserve, political, military, and civilian.
It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Vladimir Padrino says he is going to open an investigation into what happened on January 3rd. You just said it. You told everyone to go home because there were too many of them. Went home due to the large crowd. Or was the story different? Are you talking? We have video of Donald Trump. We have video of Donald Trump family, and this gets even better. Oh my God, breaking news right now with Donald Trump. We're talking about, I don't know what the weapon is called, the stun gun, that secret weapon, the discombobulator, whatever it's called. I don't know anymore. I just can't remember.
What's it called?
What
is what you call a
Bobula? Well, I'm not allowed.
Have you talked about the weapon? The discombobulator.
The discombobulator? Well, they're not allowed to talk about it.
He says, I'm not authorized to talk about this. I think it's the biggest trolling in history.
Let me tell you, do you know what it does? Nothing. Their equipment just works.
He says what that weapon did is that none of its systems worked.
It was all my name. I'm very proud of the name. Everything was discombobulated.
He says everything was chaotic. I'll go. Even the Cubans.
He says, practically there wasn't a shot, They were ready when we came. They couldn't do anything.
He says, basically, they were all ready. He's referring to Padrino and his people. They were all ready, but when we arrived, nothing worked. It's tremendous. Is there anyone who has a video of a plane flying over Caracas, spraying soap and shampoo? I just can't find any other explanation for this. An anti-leftist weapon. No, I can't believe it.
He says,
stop, stop, stop.
He says Tom discombobulated everything.
Until next time. He says discombobulated everything. I think these people were sprayed with discombobulated shampoo and soap.
Worked even including humans.
He says nothing worked.
Well, let's put it this way. We lost over Tom. It discombobulated everything.
I love it.
Nothing worked, even including humans.
He says including humans. He says nothing worked, including humans. But what is this? This looks like Star Wars or Men in Black. They flash that thing and everyone says,
we lost no equipment.
He says we lost no equipment.
He says.
They were great warriors, especially the chubby one with the rifle.
In a very bad environment.
Come on, Trump, right? The uniforms, which were really good, we've seen the Venezuelan army's training, and they're not even good enough for a free version of an Amazon Prime series.
It was South America's largest military base.
He claims it was South America's biggest military base. He's trolling, right?
Yes, because the house was on a base in the city's south.
He says, because his house was inside the base. So it confirms what we had said. It was inside the base.
In a very
tough place.
We lost no men and we lost no equipment.
He says we lost no men or equipment.
The discombobulator just knocked it well.
It did something.
He says, yes, we did something. I have. He says we did. I don't know if what they used was this. Let me see if I can find it here. We're going to give them free publicity, but let's see if I can find the right photo. I think they use this. Free publicity, right? For example, a bit of Zero Lice soap. They rub the Cubans' backs a little. Did they put some of this in their dinner? I don't know, huh? But it was a Venezuelan rackmax who went crazy. This is really something, huh? It's the weapon from Quake 2 that was good. Disintegrator, delucer. Zote soap, which is also famous. There are several, you know. Lice-free soap too. Chop. Seriously? I think it's a total troll. I think they all chickened out. That day, the Caracas sewer system suffered a flood. But we saw the images from Fuerte Tuna. Everyone running out in cars, on donkeys, on bicycles, on scooters. They were on sleds without any snow, just running and doing somersaults downhill. Who stayed there to defend? Did no one stay, only the Cubans? But in the end, the Cubans are going to be the only ones who really tried to do something. The Cuban boys. No more, no less. No more, no less. Now, that Donald Trump comes here to tell us that there are strange things. I mean, we'll have to believe it, see? Is this the interview where he mentioned Iran? Maybe for Iran, things will go the same way. Some helicopters will go into Tehran. They'll take the old man away. With the bionic hand, maybe with the bionic hand, doesn't Trump's device work? But the truth is that it's very strange. It's certainly very strange that they didn't have a single casualty. Not a single device, nothing down. It's just that it's super strange if you stop to look at it. No. What could have happened to this one?
It makes me angry, it bothers me, it gets on my nerves, and it pisses me off. And I condemn the savage criminal aggression of the Yankee Empire against the Venezuelan people and against the democratically and legitimately constituted government of Nicolas Maduro. I join the collective demand that Nicolas Maduro be immediately released. Enough with the interference. United States, we are not your servants. Out with SAC, ha? Nicolas Maduro? Nicolas what? Nicolas Maduro, Altamira Ferrer, his...
Not a single drop, but listen carefully. Not a single drop of oil can leave here for the United States if they attack.
Not a single drop, not one, huh? No, not a drop, not 50 million. Yes, 50 million. Look, we're going to start doing a comedy segment about Venezuela every week, okay? We're going to take all these clips, I'll collect them, and we'll make a mega mix. Not a single drop.
Not a single drop.
Not a single drop, only 50 million.
Come for me! Miraflores is waiting for you here. Don't take too long to get here, cowards.
Well, he was at his house in Fuerteventura. We can't really blame him. They caught him in the wrong place.
My God, thank you.
Here is a series of videos. Here is a series of stories.
But I saw that one-armed guy and said, I want him, look, because I don't know how to work.
This is great.
Salida, it was worth it. Look, we're going back to Caracas. It was worth it. We're going back to Caracas. And Salida got with that one-armed guy I found for her.
A one-armed guy for your kisses, man. A one-armed guy. A one-armed guy to make another one-armed guy.
Oh my God. From traveling by private jet to riding in a Navy helicopter that's been peed on wearing a Nike tracksuit. That's great. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. The thing about Maduro...
It's something he doesn't enjoy today. Goodbye.
Yeah.
This only happened a month ago. 30 days have passed and now Chavismo is in ruins. How would they get Maduro out? He's a big guy. Look, he's even wearing red sneakers. He's wearing boots. Oh my God, what a pair, what a pair. Well, I'm lucky that I have the tracksuit. Well, the tracksuit is wonderful. When you're at the airport with him, everyone looks at you. When you take a LATAM flight, everyone starts laughing. It's just amazing. The tracksuit thing. It's crazy. The tracksuit thing is crazy. It blows your mind. But yes, honestly, you have to admit it. What happened that night was incredible.
Western democracy, the classic democracy they call liberal.
The last time we saw him in public, huh?
Liberal. He did go into terminal exhaustion. They no longer represent the people. These are manipulated democracies for the minority, not true democracies of the people. And more they are democracies that operate based on the interests of billionaires and large corporations, and democracies exposed to emotional manipulation by social networks.
Speaking of social networks, I want to show you something. Has the director of Telegram, the chief executive officer of Telegram, said anything about Sanchez and his paranoia about now wanting to go after all of us? Pavel Durov has written, and this doesn't look good, does it? Today, people using Telegram in Spain, you have received an alert, a global message, one from Telegram, where you were warned about a series of important things. Thank you. The government of Spain wants to identify social media users with mandatory age verification. That is, you will have to send your documents so they have your information, says Pavel. This sets a precedent for tracking the identity of all users, eroding anonymity, and opening the door to massive data collection. Executive, personal, and criminal liability for the platform. Will excessive censorship be enforced? Will the use of algorithms be criminalized? Governments will dictate what you see, hide opposing opinions, creating government-controlled echo chambers. And, among other things, a digital dictatorship. That's where we're heading then.
The community and citizens lack power?
Against supposedly a drug manufacturing factory. Precisely, your government has so far neither confirmed nor denied that information. What could you tell us about that?
Look, that might be a topic we could discuss in a few days, in a second version of this podcast, right?
The podcast won't have a second version. It's not going to have one. The podcast. It became Podeli. Podeli already mature. No. We're not going to say that he's missed. But we don't have our clown. Should they leave Donald Trump a camera, a webcam or something so we can see him? Like a kind of big brother in prison? I think that would be fair. The Chavistas would be happy to see their idol there. We would be laughing. I think it would be fair to say. We want a camera on Maduro 24 hours a day to see how he's handling it. Prison. It must be amazing. It must be amazing.
Trinidad and Tobago are now attacking our country, stealing the resources that belong to us. Is this a consequence of the sovereign decision made by our national government led by our brother President Nicolas Maduro?
And we'll end with this.
We won't give up. Applause.
Padrino quit on the 3rd.
And I always say it. The responsibility we've been given as a generation, living through this moment of the revolution and the legacy we can leave as a generation.
No options.
I understand that we were agents of our own channel.
Shut up. Thank you. Good news. Maria Corina Machado. Maria Corina Machado has met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Israel. All right? That's where true friendships are, Maria Corina. We're getting better. We're getting better. Oh my God. The Venezuelan elections are going to be interesting. They're going to be incredibly interesting. Let's see what happens. We have to pay close attention to this issue, to what is going to happen and what will occur, because things are getting really ugly.
The Bolivarian National Armed Forces strongly rejects.
On the third, none of them were calmly on duty.
The statements and pronouncements by members of the Venezuelan fascist far right against the constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro.
It's truly ridiculous. I mean,
and clearly the legislation.
Everyone was at Fuerte Tuna, but none came out to greet the SEALs. The Rangers, these Delta guys, it's just normal. Look, this video is part of the training those people had before capturing Maduro. Just look, the difference.
That's the far right is heated.
No. Didn't they renovate the interior of Maduro's house?
Let's go.
All right.
When you do this for months and months and months and months.
Go ahead. What's going on?
It's just that you can't compete against this.
Why did you quit?
They've done this for months.
That's the room on the right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
These are images that we hadn't shown until now of the training of those who stormed Maduro's house. Yes, it's really shocking. It's a level that's way, way above what they can even imagine. But anyway, family, thank you so much for being live with us. Really. See you at the next show. Take care.